Welcome to my video. This is in my energy series. This is number 9, and we're talking about power today. So power is the rate of doing work or the rate at which energy is transformed or consumed. So we see power in a lot of different venues in our life, and in physics it has a specific definition, and we're going to look at what's called the average power. This would be the power expelled or generated during a work. We do work. So it's going to be the work done divided by the time elapsed. And we can write that as just the work per unit time. So in this, the power, this is our power, and the power has units of watts. Named after James Watts. That's going to be a joule per second. We're going to look at some of the, kind of do a unit analysis on that. So our joule is a Newton meter. That's per second. Now we know a Newton is a kilogram meter per second squared. And then we multiply by the meter per second. So that's going to end up giving us kilogram meter squared per second cubed. So there's kind of a unit breakdown of power, watt. Now our work is in joules. We've seen that before. And then our time is in seconds. So there's our basic formula. Now we're going to kind of look at this formula in a little more detail and understand it. Let's see some common items we might experience. Let's see what kind of power they consume. Let's see, like an LED light. We all have lots of those in our homes. So light bulb, it's about 10 watts of power. The older incandescents used to take about 60 watts to generate 10 watts of light. So it's more efficient now. Now the hair dryer, they still take a lot of power. They're about 1,500 watts. So you can't put 2 of those on a typical household circuit, or it will cause the circuit breaker to pop. And then like the automobile engine, it's going to be 100 to 300 horsepower. Now that's not in watts. I said horsepower. Horsepower is still a common unit used especially in the America. And so we're going to talk about that. It's watts is going to be the international SI unit. This is going to be the imperial unit. But there is a relationship. 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. So it's a simple conversion. Typically in physics problems, we're going to be dealing with watts, but in actual life, there's a lot of places where you'll see horsepower used. Now let's look at the idea here between energy versus power. We've talked a lot about energy so far, and let's see how that relates to power. So let's look at an example. So we've got 2 people carry identical loads up a stairs. So here's our stairs right here. Just a simple stairs. They're just going up the stairs. Whatever that load might be. Maybe it's a pile of books or a pile of rocks. It's going to be a height H. And we know from previous work that that increases the potential energy of the person and the books or whatever their load is. So each of the 2 people do the same amount of work. Just increasing the potential energy of the books. Now, if person A takes the books up in 10 seconds, person B, a little slower, takes 20 seconds, then the power expended by A is equal to twice the power of B because it did it in half the time. So the quicker you do something, the more power it takes. So that's kind of the difference between energy and power. Power is the rate of doing work. Next, we're going to look at what's called the instantaneous power. Earlier, we looked at the average power, and that was the power over an entire task. Now we're going to look at the instantaneous power, the time rate at which the force does work. But the trick is here, the delta T gets real small. So it may be just down to the second or fraction of a second that we're looking at the power expended rather than over the entire task. So the average power describes the entire process. That might be the process of taking the books up the stairs we just talked about. Whereas instantaneous power, the time interval gets real small. So instead of looking at over the whole time it took to carry the books up the stairs, it might be just each individual step or each individual fraction of a step. So in one dimension, the simplest case here, this instantaneous power is going to be equal to the force involved times the velocity, where this is the velocity in meters per second. And that's also going to have units of Newton meter per second, which is a joule per second, which is equal to a watt. So same units, just a different way of writing it out. And so this is going to be the instantaneous power, and depending on the situation. But now in general, we're looking at multiple dimensions, 2 or more. The power is equal to the dot product of the force and the velocity vector. And the power is going to be a scalar, because anytime you dot 2 vectors together, then you're going to get the power. That might be the case where you've got the power being applied in one direction, and then it's actually going in another direction. That's a more complicated problem. But that would be the instantaneous power. You're looking at those two quantities. All right, let's look at an example. Example 1. A person carries a 20-kilogram toolbox up a 3-meter flight of stairs in 6 seconds. What is the average power developed? So here's our stairs. It's 3 meters tall. The person carries the books up. So that's what we're looking at here. Increase in potential energy, we know that. So let's try to figure this out here. So first of all, we know the work is equal just to the increase in potential energy, mgh, right? Because it's just taking the books up the stairs. We've looked at potential energy so far. The mass is 20 kilograms, and our gravitational acceleration is 9.81 meters per second squared, and our height is 3 meters. So let's plug that into our calculator. It's in the proper units. Turn it on. Clear it. So we got 20 times 9.81 times 3, enter. That's equal to 588.6 joules. And in this case, that's the same units as kilogram meter per second squared, and then times another meter. So that's going to be energy, or a joule. That's going to be basically a Newton meter. Okay, so that's the amount of work required to do it. But now we want to calculate the power. So the power is equal to work per unit time. And so we do this in 6 seconds per time. So that's going to be 588.6 joules divided by 6 seconds. So let's see, that's going to be joules per second. Clear the calculator again. 588.6 divided by 6, enter. That's equal to 98.1 joules per second, or watts. So that's how much power was required to carry this box of tools up a 3-meter flight of stairs, about 9 or 10 feet. So there's our first example. Next, let's look at another example. An electric motor performs 15,000 joules of work, or 15 kilojoules, in 25 seconds. So here's our motor. It's spinning. It's an electric motor plugged in, driving a belt. Maybe that's like a table saw. There's little blades on the saw, and it's going round and around. So that's our load. And you're cutting through wood, so it's going to be there's going to be a load on that. So what we've got here, we've got the average power in watts is what we want, and we want the average horsepower in horsepower, so we're going to convert. So there's our problem. So our solution now, power is equal to the work done divided by unit time. And they've already told us the work is 15,000 joules, and the time is going to be 25 seconds. That's how long it took us to cut the board. So that's going to be 600 watts of power that it took to run this motor for 25 seconds to do whatever work it was doing, maybe cutting a piece of wood, maybe an example. Now the horsepower, this is going to be part B. Here we did it in watts, that's part A. Part B, we want to know the average horsepower in HP, or horsepower. So we know the, start with, we got 600 watts. We know that. That's going to be the power delivered to the load. Now, our conversion factor, we have 1 horsepower is 746 watts. So if we do this, then the watts cancel out. So now, getting our calculator, it's just going to be 600, clear it, 600 divided by 746, enter. That's going to be equal to 0.8 horsepower. So there's converting watts to horsepower, depending on whichever one we need. All right, well, I hope you learned about power in this video and some examples here, and it's good stuff. You'll see it all over the place in physics and the real world. I want to thank you for watching, and leave a comment if you need to, and we'll continue on.